Hello and welcome, and this is Today in the News. My name is Precious Chukudi. We'll run with you the headlines for this morning on the papers, and we have Vanguard. Main headlines: Magu spends second day under interrogation. The rioters, Magu's private residence at Karo searched. Grilled till 8:30 p.m. yesterday. Any EFCC chair must be above suspicion, says presidency. On page 10, we have tension as Ondo Assembly serves Deputy Governor impeachment notice. The riders, 9 lawmakers kick, 14 sign notice. House adjourned till today. And stories above, we have rehab. Why we must shut Third Mainland Bridge now. Federal government and Lagos State government. You can see more on that story on page 51. And moving away from the Vanguard, we move straight to the Punch newspaper. And the main headlines: allegation of corruption. Police combs Magu's house after suspension, returned to custody. Riders, we have allegation against EFCC boss to too weighty to be ignored, says officials. NBA backs probe, says anti-graft agency's chair not above the law. And stories beneath, we have Ogun traditional worshippers, Islamic leaders clash over suicide victim corpse. And lastly, on the front page of the Punch, we have continued closure of churches no longer justifiable, says Khan. You can see that story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And that's all we have for you on the paper review this morning. We're going straight to the paper analysis segment. We'll be joined in by our guest, Mr. Aliyu Mohammed. We'll be right back after this break. All right, welcome back. If you're just still joining, it's still Today in the News, and I have with me in the studio Mr. Aliyu Mohammed, CEO of Magnet Communications. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning.
All right, so let's just move straight to the main headlines in the front page. Magu spent a second day under interrogation, and according to reports, it was said that the investigation of the EFCC boss was to reinforce the Buhari's administration commitment to transparency and accountability. What's your take on what's been happening for 2 days now?
Well, first of all, I believe that those who go to equity must come with clean hands. And I think whoever is going to head an important organization, important because that organization is crucial, very crucial to the anti-corruption crusade of this present government, must be above board. Whoever is going to head that place must be above board. And coming back to narrowing it down to what is happening now, Magu, like any other person, is not above the law. If there are strong allegations against him, those allegations should be proven, and I think the government is already on the right path by suspending him pending the outcome of this ongoing investigation. I'm sure that the reason for his detention, as explained yesterday, is to ensure that he doesn't tamper with important documents that may be used against him in the process of this investigation.
All right, so it was said that his arrest was warranted by his reluctance to answer the panel's several summons. So they've been inviting him over and over, and he has not.
I read that too, but if it is true, then he has not done the right thing. Like I said, he's not above the law. Magu should subject himself to the dictates of the law. You know, if he was invited and he didn't go, then there are other ways of getting him to go, and one of such ways is the one that has now been adopted, forcing him to go. One of the problems, I have said this here and I am saying it again, for as long as the people feel this sense of impunity, we cannot move on as a nation. It is that feeling of impunity, nothing can happen to me, that's made him not to respond early enough to the invitation that was sent to him. Impunity, like I have always said, breeds corruption, it breeds lack of disrespect for the law, it breeds anything bad that you can think of in this country. And for as long as we are unable to tackle impunity, we will continue to have corrupt officials in places, in important places. Because why would you be invited and you say you are not going? That means you must have the backings of some people that you feel you can run to and stop whatever process the government wants to take. And that is wrong and condemnable.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the allegations leveled against him by the AGF. And one of those allegations are, the alleged discrepancies in the reconciliation records of the EFCC and the Federal Ministry of Finance on recovered funds. There's a lot of allegations leveled on him. So, if you are supposed to be the chairman of a crime commission, should these things be happening?
Normally, like I said, whoever is going to head an important body like the EFCC must be above board. And we shouldn't have a situation where the head of that body is corrupt. We've been hearing about these allegations since when Daura, the former DSS director, was in office. And there were attempts to get the Senate to clear Magu. The guy wrote a letter to the Senate that Magu is corrupt, that is not worthy of the Senate's approval of his appointment. People felt that his call then was political because they thought that he probably had something personal against Magu. And now that the Attorney General himself, the Attorney General of the Federation, has also written a letter, a petition, and that petition is what the government is acting on now. So the allegations of corruption against Magu did not just start yesterday, it's been on. So it's not new. So the earlier the government get to the root of this matter, the better for us as a nation.
All right, so we're going to be calling someone else. That's Dr. Jide Jimo, who is the head of journalism department, the School of Communication LASU. He's going to be joining us via phone call. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, you're welcome, sir. And
thank you.
I have in the studio with me Mr. Ali Mohammed.
Yeah, my greetings to Ali Mohammed, my good friend.
Good morning, Dr. Jide Jimo.
Good morning.
Long time. Good to hear you.
Long time. Yeah, nice.
Okay, so let's move on to the most important discussion. Second day under interrogation. Can you hear me?
Can I get the question again?
I said we want to move on to what we're talking about now. That's Magu spent second day under interrogation.
Okay, Magu, okay.
It's happening since 2 days now.
Okay.
Hello, Dr. Jide.
Yes, I think what is going on can be described as a crisis of coherence in the governance of Nigeria. Right from the time organization, there is a time at least that are taking the organization to court because processes of discipline is followed.
Dr. Jude, please, we can't hear you clearly. Please, can you put your phone closer so we can hear what you're saying?
Okay. After dealing with the organization, they have been discordant truths. Are you hearing me?
Hello, sir. We can't hear you clearly.
I can't hear you, yes. You listen to another thing.
Distortions at the background, so we can't hear you clearly.
Yes, it's really there.
I think
So I guess that is,
because we can't.
I guess that's the network.
We'll try and call Dr. Jude back to find out what's going on. Okay, so still talking about the allegations leveled against him. You know, there are some politicians that were, saying that it's been long coming, considering the fact that in 2015, when Magu was put there, he has always had acting chairman and not even chairman of the EFCC. So what do you think about what
I just told you about the attempts of the federal government to get his appointment formally approved by the Senate. During those, the two hearings for his approval, there were petitions which the Senate based its decisions not to approve his appointments on. And government lawyers and advisors felt that since the Senate has refused to formally approve his appointment, he could function in an acting capacity. I can sum it up by saying that his stay in EFCC has been surrounded by a lot of controversies, serious controversies, and this is the height of it. Height of it in the sense that there are specific allegations of corruption against him, and they are trying to investigate it, which is the proper thing to do under the circumstances that we have found ourselves. Those allegations remain allegations. They have not been proven. So until the panel comes out with a final decision on it, they remain mere allegations. So he's deemed to be innocent until all these allegations are proven and supported with documents. So that's my take on it. Politics, yes, you can read some element of politics into it. We are in Nigeria, an unusual country where political interests can take over any situation that we might find ourselves. So you can't rule out the possibility of a political angle to all this. So let's keep our hands crossed and see how this will come out.
Okay, so attention as Ondo Assembly serves the Deputy Governor impeachment notice. And, members of the House of Assembly served an impeachment notice to the embattled Deputy Governor. And, there's also an issue where in the PDP party where he joined, some of the aspirants are saying that they are not stepping down for him, if he's coming. So what do you think about that situation?
To me, it is nothing unusual. In situation where you are approaching an election, you see a lot of horse trading, people jumping ship from their political parties because they feel that they cannot fulfill their aspirations under their present platform. And that is what is unfolding in Ondo. The deputy governor is interested in becoming governor. He wants to contest against his boss, and to get a fulfillment of that aspiration, he took a decision to join the PDP. He was outplayed within APC, And he has gone there. The people in PDP felt that, look, we can't step down, which is a normal thing. Some people have been on the queue within the PDP too. They are aspiring to be governors, and you are coming to be governor. Talking about the impeachment, yes, the House of Assembly felt that since he has jumped ship from APC to PDP, they should impeach him. Some people feel that no, he should run his full term. That is the crux of the disagreement that you had yesterday, which is normal. I'm sure all this will boil over in the next few days, because the two things are certain. It's either the deputy governor is removed, and which we cannot stop, or he will retain his seat and run his full term to the end. But like I said,
retaining his seat, does it mean he has to go back to being an APC member?
He doesn't have to. Unfortunately, that is one aspect of our law which I think should be corrected. If you leave a party through which you came into an office, you shouldn't really. I don't believe, that's my opinion, I don't believe that you should remain in that office. But people exploit past situation and past court cases that we've had on such matters. Because if you are leaving APC, morally, I feel you should have the courage to also leave your position. If I am in that position, that's what I would do. I'm leaving APC. I became deputy governor through APC. Now I am leaving, so I will morally want to quit that office. But in Nigeria, we are not used to resigning from offices. People want to eat from here and still eat from the party that you have left. It is morally wrong. But legally, there are no laws to check those excesses now. And that is why you find out that all these things recur as we approach election season in all the parties. We've had situations where a governor of a state, Edo State precisely, left APC, joined the PDP, is now their governorship candidate. And from what I read yesterday, he was begging that APC should allow him to win the governorship. Once he wins, he will return to APC. Does that sound normal? It is wrong. If you have left APC, you should automatically resign that position. That's my opinion, morally. But like I said, legally, there are no laws to back up such decisions now.
Okay, so on Monday we had the Ondo SSG to also resign,
Yes.
People have been talking about how much the deputy governor resigned and also the SSG resigned. They've seen it as a way of as an unreasonable behavior and also for personal interest. That's from the faction of some of the members of the APC. So what do you think about what they're saying?
I've said it here that once you approach election, people want to leave the party to fulfill their aspirations. Once they are unable to fulfill it on the platform of the party, which they were before. The SSG came out with an allegation that Akeredolu didn't win election. That they rigged, he said it, we rigged the election for him. If that is true, that man should be in prison. Rigging is an electoral offense, and he's confirming it, he's saying it affirmatively that they rigged an election for the governor. I am wondering what the security agencies are still doing, why that guy has not been arrested. It's like an armed robber owing up that we robbed somebody, and the security agencies are not zeroing in on him. It is wrong. That guy should be arrested and give us the details of how they rigged the election in favor of the governor.
All right, we're trying to connect with our correspondent, and he's going to tell us the situation around the Magu story. Hello, John Bosco.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please, can you tell us what's happening with the Magu detention story?
Okay, yesterday, I tried to find out what exactly was happening at the panel, though the bar journalists from coming, but I was able just to enter somewhere, to watch what was going on. But incidentally, we discovered that the drilling lasted till about 8:30 last night. When about 8:30, then they took him back to First Criminal Investigation Department. Then he was joined by his lawyer yesterday also, who may give him guidance on some of the allegations, leveled against him.
All right, so we heard that his private residence was searched. How true is this one?
I didn't get you right. Can you come again?
We heard that his private residence at Karu was searched. How true is this?
Actually, I was trying to, investigate on that. That was the information available to us just late last night. So we are trying to find out the veracity of that information. But in such a situation, everything may be possible because the people probing the allegation may like to find out actually the veracity of the allegation. Then they may go to his private house to, look for some documents that may be vital to, unravel some of the allegations against him.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Okay, so you want to respond to some of the things?
It is a normal process. Once you are suspected and you are in detention, like I said, the essence of taking him in is to ensure a smooth and non-influential investigation, and that is the process that is going on. It is normal that once somebody is suspected, especially with the grievous allegations leveled against him, they will have to go and search his house, search for documents, search his office or offices. If he has a private office, they will search everywhere to see if they can get evidence to confirm some of the allegations that they have. It is a normal procedure. I don't see it as anything unusual. The take home here is that if you occupy an important position in Nigeria, you must attempt to operate with some level of openness and not engage in shady deals. It will be an example to public officials to behave responsibly and financially accountable once you are in an important public office.
Okay, so moving on, we want to talk about why we must shut Third Mainland Bridge now, federal government and Lagos state government. There was a time that the Third Mainland Bridge was shut,
yes,
and then it was repaired, and then everybody was back on the road. Now the government saying it's going to be closed down for 6 months,
yes,
and we already know the challenges that we have concerning our roads, and they are not motorable enough, and we're dealing with traffic situation because some of the roads are under construction. Now, how do you think this is going to affect some of the roads that the government is saying that there will be alternative routes for passengers and road users?
Let me say that I want to commend the government for this intervention. It's a life-saving intervention because if I drive through the Third Mainland Bridge regularly, there are portions of that bridge that are in a totally bad shape. The joints are open. If you are driving on it and you are passing through it, it shakes a car that is strong, not to talk of a car that is in a bad shape. The joints, the brake joints are too open. Then there are potholes. They repaired a portion of the potholes, but the holes are back now. I pass through there every other day. So, if you look at the reason for this intervention, which is about the saving of lives, you will put any other interests, you will make it secondary. Because you are talking about the problems. Yes, if you are going to have problems and you are going to save life, I will support that. You need to be alive to do anything. Because we've had a few accidents on that bridge. Lone accident, people on top speed and running into those potholes, and they will just lose control. So I support this intervention. It is very important that as much as possible we save lives. Now that coronavirus is striking a lot of people dead, we shouldn't have more deaths through road accidents. So we have to endure whatever pains that we follow it. You can't get anything good in this world without passing through pains. If we must pass through pains to save lives on that bridge, I support it.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Ali Mohammed, CEO of Magnet Communications. Thank you for all your thoughts on our front stories this morning. If you want to find out more of what's happening in the country and the world, you need to go on our website, www.vanguardngr.com, to find out more of our top stories. And you can equally like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. That's what we have for you today in the news. Until we come your way next time, my name is Precious Chukudi. Thank you for watching.